Welcome to the Audio Architect Motion Control Panel Overview. Motion Control is an iOS application compatible with iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch devices, and it allows us to control and monitor HiQNet devices with custom panels designed in Audio Architect. If you've already watched the custom control panel overview video, then you will be well equipped to build custom panels that can be deployed to one of the mentioned iOS devices. Please note, a wireless access point or router must be used in order for your iOS device to communicate with other HiQNet devices. When setting out to create a custom panel for an iOS device, go to the Panel section, select New, and choose the appropriate motion control panel. If using an iPod Touch, use one of the phone options. It is also worth mentioning that panels will not reorient themselves based on the orientation of the device, so landscape or portrait must be specified. Selecting one of the motion control options will then navigate us to the custom panel designer. As already mentioned, if you've watched the custom panel overview or have spent time building custom panels to be used on your Windows PC, then you will find this to be very familiar territory. There are, however, some exceptions with which type of controls are available. As we take a look, we find only a handful of the basic controls, all of the image controls, and none of the advanced control options. These limited control types should be taken into consideration when trying to insert controls from a default control panel. As an example, a rotary control from a tone generator cannot be control dragged onto a motion control panel, but it can be mapped to a vertical fader. Let's take a look at a panel that has already been built. In iPad Panel 1, we find a few controls from our SoundWeb London device allowing us to change the audio source, adjust output levels and mutes, and finally we have output metering. It should be noted when using text labels that we should stay away from exotic fonts. One reason is of course for legibility, but the second reason is that though it may appear fine while simulating the panel in Audio Architect, that does not mean it will appear correctly on your iOS device. Not all fonts installed on a Windows PC will be installed in iOS. If there is any doubt, a list of fonts can be referenced at Apple's developer website. And remember, when simulating a motion control panel, use the key command Alt F4 to close the panel when finished testing. Loading panels to an iOS device is easy. Before entering the Go Online workflow, be sure to add a motion control device to the venue that matches the panel type created. Next, select Go Online. Motion control will need to be opened on the iOS device in order for it to appear as a discovered HiQNet device. After launching motion control, the iOS device will now be available to be matched to an offline device in the venue. Drag and drop like normal and proceed to synchronize the venue. After the venue has been synchronized, double-click on the motion control device and select which panels you would like to load and click OK. The iOS device will display a loading panel screen and moments later will be available for use. If loading multiple panels to a single device, panels can be swapped by two-finger swiping the screen. And as we see here, we have one panel set up with controls for the DSP and another with controls specific to the amplifier. This concludes our overview of motion control. Thanks for watching.